Hey, what's going on YouTube? My name is Holden Blaze, and today we're going to be talking about Kaspa cryptocurrency. I'm seeing a lot of fear, uncertainty, and doubt in the community surrounding Kaspa, and I want to address my opinions on where I think price is headed, along with some of the emotions surrounding the Bitcoin spot ETFs, and I will cover the new crypto exchange that just listed Kaspa. Looking at the chart of Kaspa, I always recommend you zoom out. If you zoom out, you realize that the recent price action we're seeing is basically nothing. Kaspa has been in a bull market for quite a long period of time, and the recent consolidation that we are seeing is much less drastic than some of the other times in the past. Now, I put these arrows on this chart to show you a pattern that may be a pure coincidence, but it is something I find quite interesting. See, each of these arrows on the Kaspa chart here is pointing to the creation of a new SMA line. Obviously, being a newer cryptocurrency, Kaspa doesn't have a ton of price history, and so these moving averages are created once Kaspa has been traded long enough to calculate where that moving average should be. We can see with the creation of the 50-day moving average, Kaspa's price rocket shipped upward, and that happened again with the creation of the 100-day moving average and the creation of the 150 SMA as well. The 200-day SMA is a very important SMA and is an anomaly in this pattern. However, I'm mostly interested in the past 300 to 400 days of data. We can see here the creation of the 300-day simple moving average resulted in Kaspa creating a new all-time high, seeing a rejection, and then consolidating for a period of time. Then, with the creation of the 400-day SMA, Kaspa ran up, hit a new all-time high, got rejected, and then consolidated for a period of time. Guess what happened at the creation of the 500-day moving average? Kaspa ran up, broke a new all-time high, got rejected, and has been consolidating for a period of time. For me personally, I am spotting a pattern within the past 300 days of Kaspa trading. It seems that every 100 days, Kaspa does a mini cycle of its own, and we need to note the creation of a new SMA doesn't result in an immediate rocket ship. With the creation of the 500-day moving average, you can see Kaspa found a local bottom and consolidated for a period of time before blasting to the upside and hitting new all-time highs. The 100 days prior to that, we can see that the creation of the new SMA was basically the local bottom as well, and it did take some time to create new all-time highs, but it eventually did before the next 100-day period came. That is why I'm personally predicting that Kaspa will hit a new all-time high within the next 100 days. We just saw the creation of the 600-day moving average, which means we've entered a new 100-day cycle for Kaspa, and if history repeats itself, Kaspa should be hitting a new all-time high. I'm showing you this pattern for Kaspa because I personally think the consolidation we're seeing right now is completely normal and absolutely nothing to get worried about. If you are feeling emotional watching Kaspa trade sideways for a couple months on end, I would try to dial down the emotions. It's very easy to get emotional in the crypto space, and last cycle I was way too emotional. I fumbled a lot of money because of it, and this cycle I'm making it a priority to take emotion out of all of my trading. That is why I'm just as confident as ever in Kaspa. I believe this pattern will continue to play out, and with more and more exchanges listing Kaspa cryptocurrency, there's only going to be more eyes on it and more potential buyers of Kaspa. Moving on here to Bitcoin, let's talk about some of the recent news with the Bitcoin spot ETF. We are seeing a lot of fear enter the market because a lot of newbies piled in when the Bitcoin spot ETF was hitting the news, and now they're seeing their positions absolutely tank. If you've been in crypto a long time, this is absolutely normal. It's a super common pattern to buy the rumor and then sell the news. Even if it's good news, it allows selling liquidity to happen and bears to send the price downwards. If we look at past Bitcoin price history, we can see that major Wall Street events are typically extremely bearish for cryptocurrency. Back in 2017, we saw the launch of Bitcoin CME futures, and that topped out Bitcoin for an entire cycle. A few years ago, when Bitcoin was hitting new all-time highs, we saw Coinbase IPO on the stock market, and it provided a local top for Bitcoin. A lot of people are looking at the recent spot Bitcoin ETF news and thinking we could see downside potentially to something like 33,000. I think that is a possibility, volatility. However, we need to note that a spot Bitcoin ETF is much different than Coinbase IPOing when Bitcoin's at all-time highs. Both of these past Wall Street events happened when Bitcoin was hitting all-time highs and was in peak euphoria. It also happened after a Bitcoin halving, and we are currently sitting roughly 87 days before the next Bitcoin halving. The news we are seeing right now is happening at a completely different point in the cycle, and I'm personally not expecting the news to top Bitcoin's price in a major way. Obviously, we are seeing a correction. However, we need to note that a spot Bitcoin ETF is going to result in a ton of money going into Bitcoin long term. Yes, these large players can FUD the market for a period of time and send prices lower. However, they can't FUD the market forever. Eventually, there will just be too many buyers for the price to go any lower, and we will see prices rebound and probably hit a higher high than what we saw around $50,000. Now, I'm saying all of this because I want you to prepare for both scenarios. If Bitcoin price drops to $33,000, $32,000, great. It's a great opportunity to add to some bags, and I would not get fearful over it. If that were to happen, Bitcoin would still be in a long-term uptrend, and really nothing fundamentally would have changed. However, I am personally seeing a bit too many people calling for a $33,000 Bitcoin. This is just my own personal experience, but when I see a lot of people online calling for a lower price target where they want to buy in at, the prices often never go to that target. You don't want to be the person with zero crypto who's going to buy into the market when Bitcoin's at 33,000, but Bitcoin never hits 33,000 and only rips to a new all-time high. That's really the last thing you want to do because it really screws you over from making any profits whatsoever. And so I really want you to be aware that yes, we could see potential downside, but we could also see potential upside. I think if Bitcoin ripped above 50,000, that would be a lot more painful for a large majority of market participants than seeing Bitcoin drop to around 35,000. A lot of people are seeing the potential with this next cycle and they want to add to their bags. Obviously, a major dump is a great time to do that. Not financial advice. None of this video is financial advice. However, if you are wrong and Bitcoin just trucks higher, you are going to miss out on getting into the market altogether. We know looking at past price history of gold that an ETF approval is great news long term, and I personally believe that all of the FUD we're seeing right now is being thrown to the public just so major players can buy at cheaper prices. I also want to talk about the new exchange that is listing Kaspa. Coinstore announced recently that they are listing Kaspa on the 22nd of January. Now, Coinstore is not a very big company. They only have 0.11% of the total market share of crypto exchanges. However, they still have a few million customers, and it can really only help the price action of Kaspa. I almost guarantee you that very few people who use Coinstore are already holding Kaspa, and so with that, the buying demand should outweigh the selling supply. Now, obviously, I don't know if this is going to result in a pump for Kaspa or not. However, I want to highlight that we are going to see so many more exchanges list Kaspa. Uphold is one of the few exchanges in the US that allows Kaspa to be bought without a VPN, and they are making so much money off people buying Kaspa from their platform. Eventually, these other exchanges are going to list Kaspa because it's the smartest thing to do financially. Only time will tell when we will see these major exchange listings, but I know they will come and we will see a much higher price of Kaspa. I really hope you found some value in this video. If you did, check out some of the other content around my channel. I hope you have a great day. Peace out.